Hey, everybody, welcome back. And I want to welcome all of my new subscribers. We are here for award season reviews with Cinephile Mike, day 3. We're counting down to those Oscars on March 10th. And as always, I am Cinephile Mike, your friendly neighborhood cinephile. And today I'm talking about Universal Pictures' Oppenheimer, which was written and directed by 5-time Oscar nominee Christopher Nolan. Could this be Nolan's year? Let's see. As always, these reviews are spoiler free. And as with the first two films reviewed this season, Oppenheimer is also a potential nominee for the HFPA's new Cinematic and Box Office Achievement category. As of this recording, Oppenheimer is currently sitting with a domestic total of $325,388,460. Its international gross is $625,298,000, and overall sitting with a grand total of 950,686,460, sitting at the number 3 spot according to Box Office Mojo this year. Now, Oppenheimer is the biographical tale of the American Prometheus himself, J. Robert Oppenheimer. Jumping back and forth through time, Nolan chronicles the history from Oppenheimer's, or as his nickname was, Opie, or Oppie, I should say, Oppie's beginnings as a doctoral student in Cambridge in 1926, up through his receipt of the Fermi Award in 1963. Within these almost 40 years, we go back and forth in time to see all of the events that led to the creation, implementation, and aftermath of the atomic bomb. Now, again, as I've said, while these reviews are spoiler free, the aforementioned facts shouldn't ruin the film for those who haven't seen it, because the H bomb is pretty common knowledge. However, I will avoid some of the in depth analysis of the behind the scenes drama that entwines itself with this, but we can say that there is much bruised ego, espionage, fairs, betrayal, and communism. I will leave it there. That's a brief overview of what Nolan gives us for almost 3 hours. Now, honestly, in my opinion, this film is a little bloated. The 2 hours that lead up to the Trinity test do slug along at times, and the constant time jumps back and forth and the multiple characters that we're introduced to, it's a little challenging to follow at times. There are so many characters who pop in and out quickly, and then we have the explanation of who they are explained in flashback. It's almost as if Nolan was giving us two films here in one, and I almost wonder if it would have worked better separately as a two-part film. One film honing in on the creation of the bomb and the implications, and the other is the controversy surrounding everything that happened and what happened with Oppie and the challenges he had within, his roles working with the US government. And, while the two, main events are entangled as life is, maybe it was too much for a 3 hour film. Maybe instead of a 3 hour film, this would have been better served as a miniseries. Because every subplot that we have almost seems cheated in some ways. In many ways, I feel like we scratch the surface but don't really get to dig in. But that being said, there are a lot of merits to this film outside of the screenplay. I mean, the performances are all strong. Cillian Murphy disappears into J. Robert Oppenheimer. He delivers a performance so grounded and lived in. He's almost a lock to be in all of the best lead performing categories that he would be eligible for. And also in his first major post Marvel role, Robert Downey Jr. as his colleague and former boss, Louis Strauss, gives us a hero, or perhaps a villain, that will capture your attention. We'll leave it to you to make the determination of where he falls. But his screen presence reminds us of how he inhabits his characters to grip us in every way. And then a third one I have to single out, going against the usual sweetness. Emily Blunt in a potentially, supporting performance role portrays Oppie's wife, Kitty, whose steely reserve and biting wit can reduce some of those most domineering characters down to nothing just based on her stare and bite. All three performers stand out in a very large and able ensemble cast. Now, outside of the performances, this film is cinematically a great piece of art. There's no doubt that this film will be the year's leader and could be potential winner of many of the technical awards. Hoyt von Hoytema's cinematography captures everything with such great detail. Every costume, set piece, dust cloud, snowfall, wind blow, everything is felt. In this, I have almost no doubt that there will also be nominations for Ruth de Jong's production design for her incredible look for Los Alamos, and the whole makeup and hair department headed by Louisa Abel and Heidi Mbaka for their work on the cast to delineate the almost 40 years of history that are covered in this film. Also, with this, I would be remiss if I did not highlight Andrew Jackson's visual effects department for the actual Trinity test, which is something to behold, to say nothing of the way Richard King's sound design and Jennifer Lane's editing capture these moments. This 10-minute or so sequence surrounding the Trinity test could not only be what gets the nominations, but pulls the wins. So, all in all, Oppenheimer is a 4 out of 5 stars for me. I won't lie, if the technical achievements and performances weren't as strong, I would have probably teetered more towards a 3. But holistically, the film does some nice work, even with its bloated all over the place script. Now, if you haven't seen Oppenheimer yet, it is still playing in some theaters across the country and may even pop up back if it is Best Picture nominated in some showcases or more theaters. Because if I haven't mentioned it, it will probably also enter the Best Picture races. If possible, try to see it in an IMAX theater if you can, because the visuals and technical elements, were shot in that format and need to be seen. Otherwise, besides that, at this point, there's no information available whether or not the film is streaming or when that will be done. All right. So thank you for joining me here today. And as always, if you like what you heard, click below to subscribe to my channel for all of the award season goodness. Please follow me, Cinephile Mike, on all social media platforms. Compare film reviews with me on Letterboxd. You can get to every link in the channel description notes above. See everybody for tomorrow for day 4. But until then, this is Cinephile Mike saying, take a break and watch something new.